Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with Diamante. We are here with CJ, the founder of Diam. CJ, how we doing, sir? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing fantastic. As I was telling you before, it's good to finally get on stream with you because normally we're either in Spaces or just talking in Telegram. So. And then I was actually trying to go to Consensus this year, but wasn't able to make it. So it would have been really nice to meet you in person as well. But we'll do it on the next one, on the next event, and get connected and, go grab some dinner and talk about everything going on in Web3 as a whole. But yeah, good to have you here. For anyone that's watching the stream live, please repost it, share it with all of your friends. And if you have any questions, just ask in the chat. We're going to be diving into Diam and seeing what the latest news, events, things that are happening, and why you should be worried about the future security and why quantum threats are such a big thing. But I believe most people sleep on a lot of this stuff. So. CJ, if you want to give kind of a brief intro of who you are and what Diamante is, that'd be great.
Absolutely. It's wonderful to, chat with you, firstly on the live stream. I think it's our first live stream together on a video. So I'm CJ, the founder at Diamond Day slash DM, DIAM, the DM token. And we have been in the space since almost 2019. We have seen all the ups and downs within the space, like how the market has, reacted widely on both the sides. And recently, a few months back, we launched the world's first quantum proof layer one on mainnet. So that was one of the biggest achievement that Diamond had this year. So when I say a quantum proof layer one, what does that exactly mean? Like, uh, how does that relate to the listeners who are listening to us? To understand that, and very brief, let's understand first what is quantum computing, right? That is the most important part of it. So imagine if you were using computers, let's say 10, 15 years back, the computational power it achieved, uh, solve multiple solutions, or let's say even single solution. It was very limited. And the current computers that we are utilizing, it has immense amount of capabilities in terms of solving difficult equations, problem solutions. So imagine if you are putting all the computers out there that are very powerful, let's say millions of them together, and attending something that is enormous power. Those are quantum computers, like in a very, easily understandable manner without being any technical. So let's say if you put million normal super powerful computers together, and you create one computer that can solve millions of equations in split seconds, that's quantum computers. And
Go ahead.
yeah, that's very important to understand for the Web3 space as well. Like, imagine like the current in the current situation, we have our private keys, that are pretty long, pretty complex, and it's pretty difficult to break the current private keys. It's basically it's like the whole blockchain ecosystem, they are immutable. It's really, really, really difficult to get a hold of any private key by deploying a lot of computational power as well. But with the quantum computers, those private keys are susceptible to be broken. It's all about the encryption, right? So the current encryption, that's a legacy encryption. It's like 256-bit encryption. The listeners, listening to us who are not so technical would have read somewhere or other, like we see 256 bits on the encryption side of it. And with the quantum computers, that is like 4096.
So does that mean so basically 256-bit encryption is what everything has been ran on for years, correct?
Yeah, since like last 10, 15 years.
Okay. So with quantum computing, I mean, it's going to be an instantaneous just break of all of that, right?
Yeah, with the power it has. And I think Google demonstrated that a few months back. They were able to break the Bitcoin private key in less than 15 minutes with a very nascent stage of the quantum computing computers they have.
And that's with the Willow chip, right?
Yeah,
Or with,
YouTube, yeah,
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 with Willow chip. Yeah. Because like right now, even even Google, I think, allows you to like use some computing power of quantum computing, right? Don't they allow like individuals to go in and like use a little bit of that power?
yeah. But that it's not that immense that someone can get hold of those computational power and try to break someone's Bitcoin private key. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, because the way that I explain it is like, because it is very technical and a lot of people don't want to sit here. They don't want to sit in X spaces or, watch 2 hour long YouTube streams about quantum computing because it is very technical and a lot of people just ignore it because they don't understand it. And so the way that I look at it is like a normal computer can only do a 0 or 1. It's like a light switch.
yeah,
And a quantum computer can literally flip that switch simultaneously, correct?
Yes, kind of, yeah. And when you talk about quantum computers, it's an amazing thing for the human race that's coming. But with the immense amount of power, the computational power it has, it's gonna the current ecosystem that we have, the legacy ecosystem in terms of encryption, our passwords. It can be our banking password, not just our private keys of the wallets. Every encryption is susceptible to the attacks.
Yeah. Well, anything with a digital footprint is going to
Yeah,
be acceptable, or
yeah.
it's going to be there's the threat there. So basically, so Diam has positioned itself as quantum safe. Can you break that down for us? Like, what does quantum resistance matter? Why does quantum resistance matter now if quantum computers, aren't a major running thing? Obviously, you can't go to Best Buy and buy a quantum computer, and you probably never will be able to in our lifetime. Uh, like, so what is DM? What is DM being quantum safe and quantum resilient actually mean?
Yeah, but that's not correct that you mentioned we would not be able to, get hands-on a quantum computer in our
Oh, really?
lifetime. Yeah, recently, a week back, China announced its first commercial grade quantum computer.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't see that.
Yes,
See, that's
it's
the
come.
problem. Is like this news doesn't get to the timeline, and it doesn't get to people. Like, how do we put more awareness on this situation when people don't, when we don't see it?
Yeah, that's exactly what we are doing at Diamond Day. We are running the whole quantum, ecosystems narrative that everyone should be really aware of what quantum computers are, uh, how you should get protected, and how you should make sure that your wallets are safe, your funds are safe. And that is one of the reason, like, we have been getting a lot of traction during all the institutional events that we are doing, institutional dinners that we are doing. A lot of institutions are looking into it very seriously. It's not about the conversations they were having past year within the risk management teams, like, okay, uh, there is something like quantum computing, and we'll see when it gets out there. So it's not just the conversation anymore. They are talking about doing POCs, trying out the whole tech that Diamond Day has built, and that's a transition that we have seen in past 6 to 12 months, and that's why we are getting a massive traction. And to answer your question, like, what is exactly a Diamond Day? Like, how is we are making sure that we are quantum safe? So that so for the listeners, if they don't know, 2026 has been dedicated quantum year, quantum security year, by the US Fed, and they have been trying to spread a lot of awareness. And there are certain standards in terms of quantum technology and making sure that the systems are built quantum safe. It's NIST. So anyone can go look it up on Google, or ask their AIs, whichever they are using, what is NIST standard. So there is some standard set by the US, that is NIST, that makes sure that systems can be built at a grade that are quantum safe. And even in the EU, they are making sure they have given directives to all their banking ecosystem, all their financial ecosystems, that they should get quantum safe as soon as possible. So it's not just a conversation anymore. And that is one interesting conversation that we had with the folks from the UK Parliament as well. Even the UK Parliament is seriously looking at techs that would make sure that all their financial ecosystems are quantum safe, and that's where Diamond Tech kicks in. So at Diamond Tech, what we have done, we have made sure we have launched the world's first layer one that is quantum safe. So it's migrating from a 256-bit encryption to 4096 bits encryption. So it's a huge step that we have taken in terms of the encryption as well. And we have followed the NIST standards. We have made sure our core is very, very stable, so that anyone who would deploy on Diamond Day, who would hold a Diamond Day wallet, they would be safe to the quantum attacks. And it's not just making sure that the wallets are safe, the whole dApps that are built on Diamond A are quantum safe. We have made it quite simpler as well for the ecosystem players to migrate quite easily, like in less than 5 to 10 minutes. If someone is already deployed on, let's say, protocols like EVM, as we are using a 3 VM architecture, so that would allow retail use cases, institutional use cases to be built on a single layer. And it's a, yeah, you don't need to go and fetch for protocols that are uh, not offering interoperability, but looking like there are some protocols who offer, okay, we are the protocols, we offer interoperability, but we have those features and built within the ecosystem with the 3 VM architecture. So we have like chain code, and then we have our native that's called DNA, that's a WASM, and an EVM compatibility as well. So it's quite easier for someone to migrate, to make sure that wallets are safe, that ecosystem is safe, that dApps are safe of the quantum attacks. Because what recently was announced by China on the quantum computers, maybe next 6 to 12 months, you would see a huge pool of quantum computers coming and being shipped out of China to all the parts of the world. And imagine those power falls into wrong hands.
Yeah,
And
that's bro, that's scary stuff because we've spoken before privately and on other spaces with like the power of these computers. Now, I thought that like quantum computers need to be basically in an area that's like almost colder than outer space. So how are they able to make a basically a computer that I could go buy? How is that possible?
yeah, so I'm not an expert on building quantum computers, definitely, but
Yeah.
yeah, the tech is always evolving. Yeah, if you just go back to the history, like the first computer that was built was like bigger than a room, and now we are using in our palms. We have all iPads, so that's a transition that's going to happen sooner than later. But the people with uh, wrong mindset, or let's say if they want to steal something, they would find ways to run the quantum computers if they get hold of it. And
Yeah,
that's the scariest
it's
part. Yeah.
it is very scary. I mean, we just seen what was it like 2 weeks ago? A guy he just had Claude literally just find his keys for him, and I think he recovered like five. I think he recovered 5 Bitcoin or something like that. The guy couldn't access this stuff for like 10 years, and
Yeah.
then was finally able to get it. And that's just with like Claude code. That was just with Claude. So, the power that these computers are going to have. And now I don't know what the cost of these things are going to be, but yeah, anyone getting their hands on this, like last month we seen in April, I think we seen over, I think it was $624 million that was stolen or taken away uh, in Web3. That's a lot of money from hacks and drains and just different things that are going on, and that's being done without even having a quantum computer. So I talk about it in my spaces quite a bit when we bring up the quantum narrative and things like that. That so many of these companies you've seen, like Facebook, and there was another big one that got sued by the U.S. government for holding people's data. And I don't think people realize how much data is being scraped on them right now. And then once quantum computing is in the hands of everyone, or sinister people, all of that information you have out there, they're going to be able to piece together your mother's maiden name, and they're going to be able to piece this and that together in seconds, and then gain exposure to everything you have, your bank account, anything on the blockchain. And it's really scary to think about that.
Absolutely. And just imagine having those amount of powers. You would not think about paying, let's say, even 100 million for that, because you will get access to billions and billions of dollars instantly. And it's not just a Web3, right? Like you rightly mentioned, if someone gets and hold of your bank account, like Web3 is and the crypto is like a little part of the whole financial ecosystem the world has. It's like trillions and trillions of dollars and sitting out there that are susceptible to the quantum attacks.
Yeah, yeah. Last I seen one report. I think it showed it was total value at risk right now is $74 trillion.
Yeah.
$74 trillion, and people sleep on the narrative that, oh, quantum computing's years and years away and we don't need to worry about that. And you see the Michael Saylors and other people, they'll just kind of shrug it off like they're not worried about it. They can build a fork for Bitcoin. They can freeze the wallets or freeze the keys of the wallets that have been inactive in like Satoshi's wallet and things like that. So it's really scary. So Diam is built for developers. It's built ready to go. Anyone can come on and build on Diam. How do you guys approach this from like an institutional standpoint? Because with the Clarity Act being passed or going to be passed, I would imagine this year in the United States, you're going to have banks and insurance companies and just everyone that has ever had the itch to include some type of a crypto into their business. They're going to be wanting to do that. But I highly doubt they're being educated on the fact of quantum blockchain security. How is Diam approaching that?
So you would be really surprised in terms of the institutions who are still not a part of Web3, but they're wanting to enter the Web3 ecosystem. Even they are aware of it, because somewhere or other, companies are run by people like us, and every risk management team have started seriously looking at quantum computers, because it's not even just the risk to the Web3 ecosystem; it's even the risk to the Web2 ecosystem, and the Web2 ecosystem trying to migrate or adopt to the Web3 ecosystem or get an exposure to it. They are already aware about it, and that is the reason the conversations have converted to having clear clarity on getting partnerships in place, making sure that they are testing out before the quantum computers get out. Because like for retail, let's say it's a small amount of exposure that have as on an individual perspective, but institutions, they have a huge exposure because they are the ones holding all the funds uh, the retail has been investing through years. So for them, the asset custodies, the custodial wallets they have, the hot wallets, the cold wallets, they are all susceptible to attacks. And I'm not sure if you have heard about it or not, but people with huge data sets or exposure to the data center, they have already started farming the Web3 data, the crypto data. That means they are already tracking all the transactions, like high value transactions, the small transactions that people are doing, getting hold of their public keys, so that when they have those powers in hand with quantum computers, they can just with few clicks make sure they are farming those private keys and getting hold of their assets.
Yeah, and I mean they can easily target the most valuable wallets all the way down. I mean, they can just put filter on and go for the big ones all the way down. So, like, how does Diam handle that privacy matter?
So we have an inbuilt privacy within the ecosystem as well, on the institution side of it, as well as on the retail part. So you are in total control of how much privacy that you would require as an individual or as an institution. So you'd be able to select if I want to make my transaction private, if I want to keep it public. So that is the power that we are giving to the users within the Diamond ecosystem, that would make sure that even, let's say, someone gets hold of your quantum computers after even the attacks, by architecture itself, Diamond is quantum safe. But even if someone tries to attack it, uh, the transactions and the public keys can be are masked, or can be masked by the users. So that means you are in total control, and that's what exactly Diamond and DM is all about. It's the next generation privacy slash security layer for the whole Web3 ecosystem.
But it's giving you the control of what's private and what's not. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So that's good. So it's keeping it decentralized in a manner of like, it's your crypto, your keys, you do what you want with it. Do you want privacy? Do you want to, what things do you not want? And that's from I would imagine that would be the same for a builder from a building standpoint. If you brought an institution on, they could determine which way they want their transactions to be seen and not, as far as a partner goes in the future, right?
Absolutely, and that is very important for institution as well, because they have like millions and millions of data sets that are very very private to them, and they would not like to put those data sets on a or any blockchain, no matter Diamond T or any, let's say, an EVM or anyone,
Yeah,
and giving
yeah,
them, yeah, giving
yeah.
them access to those kind of feature where they can make sure all the data are private, they have limited exposure or near zero exposure, makes them safe. And that is why a lot of institutions are seriously looking at integrating the whole Diamond ecosystem, because we are the ones, or maybe the only ones currently, who are providing the safety and security as well as privacy they would require to migrate from a web to the web3 ecosystem.
Yeah, for me, like when I came into crypto, I think it was like mid 2019, and like the biggest narrative that was going around was like, oh, the blockchain is transparent. You can see everything. And it's like, well, sometimes maybe I don't want people to see every move I'm making, everything that I'm doing, what NFTs I'm buying, holding, selling, and then it kind of goes to where the world's advancing to now, where we're going to end up seeing, loans and, your stock portfolios and all these things are going to be on chain, to where you can see every single detail of your life, almost like it's a, it's almost like a digital currency Facebook. It's like, okay, well, I posted, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, Jesus did this, and now it goes on the timeline for a new feed. And it's like, well, I don't want people seeing all the things that I'm doing. I don't want them to know that, okay, I used my whatever card and at the grocery store and I spent $150, and they're like, well, what did he buy? You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like having that privacy is a good thing. And I think we would see a lot of people, I think we would see a lot less visual transactions out there, if more people had more options. Imagine Ethereum gave you the option to literally mask all of your transactions. You would, bro, like, there you wouldn't see hardly anything on chain, because people would literally hide all their stuff. So I do think privacy is a key feature for any blockchain, and for Diam to be able to give the end user the option to make their, to make things private or not. I think that's really bullish.
Yes, and you are exactly right on that. And that is the reason, I'm not utilizing social media a lot. Like, it's near zero. Like when you talk about, let's say, people doing Instagram, posting everything, what they are doing, what they are eating, where they are. And that's one of the biggest concerns that I have. And that translates to the whole Web3 ecosystem as well. Imagine if I'm transferring, let's say, X amount of dollars to you in a bank account, only me and you know what exactly is happening between us.
Yeah,
The world doesn't know.
exactly. Yeah.
And with crypto, as soon as people get hold of, okay, this is a wallet from, let's say, Jesus, everyone would start tracking it, and what he's doing, where are his funds. And that's the biggest concern that's out there.
And it's dangerous too, because if somebody's getting like 5,000 or 10,000 or even $1,000 is a lot of money. And if then that person is, they're doxxed and we're out in public and you're out with your family or whatever, and somebody recognizes them, like it could lead to bad things happening. And we see it all the time. We see founders of blockchains and projects, and, getting mugged or getting, it's a bad world. So I do think privacy is very important, and I'm glad Diam is building for that future of privacy, because I think in order for Diam to onboard large institutions, you have to have a privacy layer, right? So
Absolutely.
not only are you quantum safe, but now you also offer these institutions that used to keep all their information in a little bitty black book sitting in their accountant's office, you want to give them that sense of security as well, that not all of their data is going to be public.
Yeah. And just to relate to what we were saying with the founders and the project owners not being safe, I have a bunch of founder friends of mine. They're always traveling with security,
Yeah.
and it's very very concerning. And that's why what we have built with Diam on the privacy and security side of it, it's the most important thing the Web3 requires as of now. It's
Yeah.
not about just being threatened by the whole quantum computers, but as you rightly mentioned, like privacy is something really really important.
Yeah, it is. In making sure your family remains safe
Yeah.
as well. So if I was in the position as a founder or a leader of a blockchain, even if I was just like a CEO or whatever, you're right. I would definitely have security with me. Obviously, yeah, in the United States, we can carry guns and do whatever we want, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If you're traveling around the world, I would have security in a heartbeat. Um, so what type of for the Diamante ecosystem, what type of products, we know mainnet has launched? What type of products are we going to be looking at seeing coming in the future from Diam?
So, as in network, as in blockchain, we are agnostic to the kind of products that can be built on a diamond ecosystem. Uh, so currently, I'll give you two examples so that the listeners can relate to what's exactly happening, and it's not about what is going to be built, so that they can relate to it, and maybe some builders who are listening to us, they can start thinking of how they would be able to migrate or build on top of Diamond. So one of the coolest use case that is currently being built and maybe soon going to deploy. I'm not sure if they have launched it yet or not. It's an quantum VPN that is being on the network. It's called a QVPN. So imagine if you would have an VPN that would give you the sense of privacy that everyone is looking for, and that's why a lot of people utilize VPN. And also having the safety, the quantum safety, because it's being built on the Diamond mainnet. That would make sure that you have crazy amount of safety and security while browsing through your devices. So those kind of safety privacy products are a lot of builders are seriously looking at building on top of Diamond T. And on the institution side of it, I think a couple of months back we announced that we close a good amount of investment coming from an institution.
Yeah, I
So
think it was like 1.9 mil or 2 mil raised there. That's good. It's great.
so they are building a whole stablecoin ecosystem on top of Diamond T. So they amount to 50% of the world's total ferrochrome manufacturing. So if the for the viewers who don't know what is ferrochrome, so ferrochrome is a material utilized in every stainless steel product. So it is an essential to build stainless steel products around us. Let's say for example, the microphone that you have in front of you, it has stainless steel and it has ferrochrome in it. So they have volumes northward of $3 billion that they are bringing on chain on Diamond Day, because as an institution they are also very very aware of the whole quantum ecosystem, and that's why they were looking at a very safe and a private chain, and that's what Diamond Day provided, and they ended up writing check as well as bringing volumes northward of $3 billion on top of Diamond Day. So institutional use cases, retail use cases, a lot of neobanks ecosystem are also looking to build on Diamond Pay, and we have our own uh, ecosystem app that's called Nitro Pay that's soon getting launched on Diamond ecosystem. So it's like banking uh, merged with Web3, like banking, payments, and investments that has fiat and crypto both. And additionally, it has quantum safety and a diamond level privacy attached to it. So that's going to be one of the biggest use cases that's coming to the diamond ecosystem.
The when we look at other industries, and you mentioned we have DeFi and we have a VPN that's going to be coming here very soon as well. What other type of industries are you guys targeting? Are you looking at like brands that specialize in RWAs, more DeFi, gaming? Is gaming a possibility on Diam?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, we are, in terms of the use case, we are not limited to any kind of use cases that wants to build on top of Diamond A, or they want to migrate on it, like gaming. So, and the earlier version, we have like more than 200 dApps that are built on Diamond A. They have already started slowly migrating to the whole new ecosystem, the new version of the mainnet that we have. So that has gaming use cases, DeFi, RWA, all different kind of use cases are already being migrated on top of the new version.
Nice. So for anybody that's watching this, especially anyone that's a developer, or someone, just someone building in the space, like what would they get from Diam? What would they get by building on Diam that they couldn't get on ETH mainnet, or they couldn't get on Solana, or any other blockchain? Why is Diam the perfect place for new projects and developers?
I would make it very simple in terms of why someone should migrate to Diamond Day, or why should someone build on Diamond Day. The first important thing that we need to understand as builders, like I would talk from a builder's perspective, because we have been builders ourselves as well, and we are still building. So most of the use cases that are being deployed or any blockchain, they are all more institutional focus, and that's where the whole liquidity is. And because we are not seeing any retail liquidity out there. So imagine if we want to get connected to any institutional use cases, we would require a chain that has privacy inbuilt to it, and that has an easy uh, amount of exposure, or let's say an architecture that would allow the retail liquidity to be flown into institutional liquidity and vice versa. So I'm not sure that, let's say, an EVM architecture chain would allow someone to do that. So if you are looking to, get an exposure ultimately to a whole institutional landscape, there are not many options. Maybe you can choose, let's say, Hyperledger Fabric, but that wouldn't allow retail use cases to be built. So a true hybrid architecture Diamante has, a multi-VM architecture Diamante has, that allows a lot of options for builders in the future. So they are not restricted, and they are not looking to, integrate multiple chains. You can do that by just building on a single chain. That's Diamante. And we have already spoken about the whole privacy features that we have, whole security features that we have. That's a cherry on top.
Yeah.
So that's why, as a builder, you should seriously look at what Diamante has done, what Diamante offers. And as a founder, I can definitely say that if someone is looking to migrate on top of Diamante, or someone is looking to build on top of Diamante, and if they are facing any issues that they are not being able to access some of the features they want, we as a team, we are very very flexible. We would definitely accommodate those requests people would like to have being built on Diamante. And that's what difference that we have, other than any chains out there. Like that would not happen on, let's say, an EVM chain or a Solana chain. But we, at a very nascent stage of development, people can also come or build along with us. So it's a truly decentralized public chain that we have built, and that's how we are going to be in the future as well.
Now, for someone that's not a developer, someone that's not a builder, and someone that is just a normal consumer in Web3, what does that look like being a part of the Diam community? Like, how can they get involved today? And just by either holding the token or joining the Discord. Like, what are some of the things that are actively going on right now that people watching can do today?
Yeah. So at DM and Diamond Day, we have pretty active, communities on multiple social platforms like Discord, Telegram, Twitter. They can follow us. They can watch for the new updates. And if anyone is looking to wedge themselves against the quantum safety and the security, they should seriously think about holding DMs onto their back. It's not a financial advice, but just watch out for how the world is going to change quickly once the quantum computer comes into the picture. And if they are listening to us already, they are definitely early into it. So always in the Web3, people are always asking a simple question: what's the next alpha? And I think we have simply answered that question to the listeners who are listening to us.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, a lot of stuff, bro. I didn't even know about I'm literally, when we're done with this stream, I'm gonna be Googling and trying to figure out the stuff with China and these quantum computers, just so I can get a post out, because I didn't even see that. And I have an entire news feed that gets sent to me on the latest quantum news, and I don't know how I even missed that. So I definitely want to dive into that. But that was my next question. Like you just asked, everyone in Web3 wants to know what's the next alpha, what's the next thing coming, what milestones. Obviously you guys have an internal roadmap of where you see yourself, 30 days, 60 days, a year from now. But like, what milestones do you think we'll be seeing coming in the next 90 days, or things that the broader Web3 community can watch out for?
So, for a broader Web3 community, we have a definite set of roadmaps and the milestones coming in the next 90 days. Uh, so, our biggest focus for the next 90 days is having the whole payment ecosystem in front of all the retail users within the Web3 ecosystem, because everyone is quite focused on, making sure that payments are safe. They have a safe infrastructure where they can do, let's say, on ramping, off ramping. But the current on ramping and off ramping solutions and the banking solutions, people get blocked by a lot of banks. Their cards get blocked, and that's the biggest issue. They are not able to on ramp or off ramp. If they are able to do it, it's you have seen platform charging northwards of 10% on transaction fees. So imagine if you are buying a Bitcoin through an app that charges you 10%, and next day you are awake, Bitcoin is like 3 or 4% down, so you're already 15% down on your assets.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest concern why retail is not entering the whole Web3 ecosystem. You are getting better gains into other security products than what crypto is offering as of now. And that's where we come in with the NitroPay application. We are making the whole user experience quite easy, and it's going to be one of the most economical product out there for buying and selling your assets.
Yeah, and it's very important, because like I say at least 5 times a month where some big exchange is freezing someone's account, or it's taking them, or it takes them, 10 days to clear payments. And it's like, I've seen posts where the guys are like, I've bought millions of dollars of Bitcoin or ETH through my lifetime through this exchange. And you guys are still holding my money for 10 days. Like, this makes 0 sense. So I think it's about speed and trust, and knowing that, if I'm using NitroPay to do whatever I want and transact, that it happens fast and it's dependable, and my money's going to be where it needs to be at a reasonable fee, not 10, 15, 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our aim also is to educate people with NitroPay as well, because we have seen is like people utilizing Bitcoin ATMs, particularly in the US, they are being charged 20-25%, and still people are using it. Yeah. And that's crazy.
I was at a gas station near my house. I just talked about this yesterday in my space, and there was a guy trying to shove $500. He had 5 $100 bills into the ATM. And I was like, and I asked him, I was like, hey, sir, I just want to ask you a general question. Like, why are you using this? And he's like, well, it's the easiest way for me to get, Bitcoin. And I'm like, no, it's not. I said, I can help you get Bitcoin at way better cost. Right now, that $500, you might be lucky if you get $400 worth of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
if even that. And he was like, "Yeah, no, I don't care. This is the way I do it. This is the way I'm gonna keep doing it." And it's like, I just want to like I just want to help these people, and they're like they don't care. But surprisingly, though, I'm surprised he was still able to purchase, because in the state of Tennessee where I live, and I think Louisiana, they just made it illegal in the United States for Bitcoin ATMs to even operate. So, which is a good thing, I think, because I think they're predatory, and I think they're dangerous, and I think we need more of a positive message out there to help people on board, no matter where they're buying it from. I'd rather everyone watching to use Nitro Pay when it comes, but if they don't, use at least use a reputable exchange or brand. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, these Bitcoin ATMs are dangerous.
Yeah,
Um,
use any platform, that's
yeah,
exactly my point. Like, use any platform. So what that means is we are losing millions of dollars in retail liquidity coming to the web3 ecosystem, because they're ending up paying 20-25% of transaction fees to the people who are not going to put money in the bitcoins. Like, they're
yeah.
just earning the revenues out of it. Yeah.
Exactly. I have friends that they're not on X. They buy some of the things that I tell them to buy, and they ask me about once a week, "Hey, when's this going up?" And I'm like, "I don't know, bro. Like, just keep DCA and buy, hold. You're safe. Just don't click any funky emails, and quit putting all your information online." So yeah, it's a scary world we live in, and I really hope people watching this stream today really take some time to do some education on what quantum security is, what Diam is doing, and what CJ and the Diamante team is actually building, because it's very important for the future of Web3 and IRL security. I mean, this is a big thing, and don't listen to the big accounts out there saying, "Oh, we're 10 years away, we're 20 years away," because we're not. It's a problem today. How would you tell people right now to kind of safeguard their steps? I know you're not a security advisor, and you're not, but like, are there's just like a few tips of what you could kind of tell people to, be a little bit safer in the space?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you rightly mentioned, don't click any funky links on your emails or your messages. Make sure you have multi-level authentication into any, you know, exchange. If you have, it's your private keys are safe in a secure environment. Do it physically. Trust, more, physical security than the digital security, because digitally nothing is safe. So make sure everything is quite physically secure, and don't listen to people online and start buying stuff that's not going to make sense at all. That's the
Yeah,
biggest thing.
100%. Yeah, yeah, it's
And
it's it's a dangerous world, but we have enough people that are educating, in the space. As I said, CJ is not a security expert. He is building the baddest quantum safe blockchain in the space, man. Um, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. All right. So as we close out, what are some last minute things that you want to tell anyone that is interested in joining the DM community, and any closing words that you might have?
yeah, so the most important closing statement I want to make is the people who are talking, let's say the quantum computers are 10, 15 years away. So not 100%, like 110%, they are already safeguarding their assets. It's just a hoax they are spreading out there, because they are sitting on billions and $1 billion of asset, and uh, someone would be stupid not to just secure their assets. So it's important to make sure if everyone who is listening to us are educated uh, from our conversation. Just do some research online. Make sure that you're safeguarding your assets. Safety, security, and privacy are the most important thing a user needs to have, either Web 2 or Web 3. And if you want to learn more, into quantum safety, Web 2 safety, Web 3 safety, the security and the privacy, you can join our social media channels like Discord, Telegram, Twitter, so that you are getting those alphas in terms of safety and security. And make sure you are spreading this across through the people that you know that are close to you, to make sure they are aware and they are locking in their assets with safety and security.
100%. All right, guys, make sure you are following Diamante. It's at Diamante_IO. Make sure you are following them on X to stay updated on all the latest news and all the products that are going to be dropping soon. We've heard about a QVPN coming soon. We've heard about Nitro Pay. We've locked in. So if you're just joining the stream, make sure you go back, hit rewind, replay. CJ, I appreciate you coming in. This definitely won't be the last one that we do. We're going to do more as the year progresses. But safe travels to you when you are traveling to these conferences. I know you're a busy man, so I hope you got some security rolling deep with you, bro.
Yeah, I am a very low key, so
they don't even see you coming. That's good. We got privacy CJ. He's just hiding in the cracks and then coming out. So that's good. All right, cool. All right. Yeah, guys, make sure you share this stream to all your friends. Get it, bookmark it, and we will get some clips out on it later. CJ, once again, I appreciate you coming into the stream, sir, and stay safe, and we look forward to seeing what's coming from Diam.
Yeah, thanks a lot for your time. Really appreciate it. And, big thanks to the listener who had made it out to this part of the show that we are doing. So thanks a lot, everyone.
If you're still here watching, that means you're going to make it. That means you're going to be good.
Yeah.
You're going to be good. All right, cool. Everybody have a fantastic day, and we will see you on the next stream or DM Space. Until then, peace.